So welcome back to the Angel Accelerator. And today's topic is seeing the future. It's related to this aphorism, which is from Wayne Gretzky. It gets repeated in the entrepreneurship realm a lot and in the investor realm, the venture capital realm a lot, which is you got to skate to where the puck is going, not where it's been. It's true in hockey. It's true in investing. It's true in entrepreneurship. You got to be there when the customers are ready for you. The way this manifests itself in terms of investment is something like this. So you're pitched an idea, right? An entrepreneur somehow gets in front of you. They pitch you this grand vision. So here's just a picture of an interior of a Whole Foods. They look pristine. They look amazing, like amazing places to go shop. And then you discover the reality is a lot messier. Here's where they are today, right? The equivalent of where they want to go is Whole Foods, but the equivalent of where they are today is a outdoor, messy, complex market. And if you're going to invest in that company, you have to believe that there's a path from here to there. You have to believe that there's a bunch of steps that they could take with the amount of money that they're asking for in a reasonable amount of time to turn what they have into what they want to go to. And the big question is, will that vision come true? And if it will come true, what are the steps? What are those milestones? Right? And lay it out with them and sit down with them and go through their whole roadmap. And if it's not going to happen, well, what are the roadblocks that are going to get in the way? And in another week or two, we'll go through all the normal roadblocks that we see in startups. The reason why we have to ask this question is because we're basically told a lie about startups. So if you read Inc. magazine and Forbes and Fortune and New York Times and everybody who writes about startups, TechCrunch and whatnot, and if you watch The Social Network and Jobs and everything about all the successful startups, they all tell the story on the left. Or if you remember The Social Network, geek kid in Harvard, freshman, gets an idea, goes off for a night or a weekend, codes something up, and the next thing you know, he's a billionaire with Facebook. It's a nice story. We've heard this story before. Two guys in a garage in California tinkered around, came up with a kit for a computer, and the next thing you know, they were doing an IPO at Apple. It's a great story, but that's not actually how anything works. Didn't work at Facebook that way, didn't work at Apple, didn't work at Ford Motor Company, didn't work at Boeing. Doesn't work that way. The way it actually works is on the right, which is company gets started, something goes wrong, they pivot, they change, they try something new. That works for a while, and then something else goes wrong. And so they have to pivot and change and try other things and so on. And almost every company gets caught somewhere in those loops and doesn't make it out the top. It's a very really weird axes here. Up and to the right is good. Up and to the right is success. Most companies fail and never make it to success. And the question is why? What gets in the way in those loops? This is a slide that I showed this morning at orientation in the accelerator. This is why accelerators exist. They exist because we can help snip a few loops. We can help increase the odds of success because we can take out some of the common issues they're going to have, and we can make them do the strategic planning that too many entrepreneurs don't do, and therefore their path to success is shorter, and that increases their odds. So here, we showed this in one of the previous workshops. This is the top 20 reasons why startups fail. Right? According to CB Insights, which is one of the amazing companies that keeps track of what investment deals happened, who made those investments, and so forth. All right, so top of this list is there's no market need. 42% of the time, according to CB Insights, companies fail because no customers actually want what they're selling. Let's just step back for a second, take a pause there, and break in whenever you have a question here or want a clarification. But take a step back and think about this. They're saying that 40% of the time, the company has created something that no one wants. That seems like a very high percentage. And the question is, why is it so high, right? Because when you have the idea and you go out, before you launch the company, you go out and you talk to customers, and those customers tell you they want it, otherwise you would build them something else. But when you actually get the product into market, all of a sudden they don't need it. And so that's actually the root cause here of all these other issues, or almost all these other issues, is that you've built something wrong. You heard the customers wrong, or you asked the wrong questions as an entrepreneur. I'm having pronoun trouble as I teach this class. I'm usually an entrepreneur. So the entrepreneurs are having trouble figuring out what the customers are actually telling them. But it's also a matter of seeing the future, right? We're talking about seeing the future today. And often what they're saying, the entrepreneurs are saying, is you're going to need this in 6 months or 9 months or 12 months when I have it ready. Do you agree with that? And the people they're talking to, the potential customers, are saying, yeah, but then things change and that's not what's needed. Or they just build the wrong thing. The second line on here is ran out of cash. Well, you don't run out of cash when you bring something to market that people want to buy. You run out of cash when you bring something that not enough people are buying. You run out of cash, for a few other reasons, but you basically run out of cash when you don't have enough customers. So those two are related. The only ones on here that aren't really that item there, building the wrong product or pricing it wrong or so forth, are the team issues. You got not the right team is basically the team blew up, as we call it. The team failed to get along, or the team really didn't see the future clearly, made some wrong decisions, and made enough of them in a row that they ran out of money. Now, in terms of success, there's really only 4 things that lead to success. And this is why you should never believe any stories that are told by any first-time successful entrepreneurs. So, Mark Zuckerberg, nice guy, but he doesn't know why he succeeded because he's never failed. He's never failed at a startup. He only has succeeded at a startup, so he doesn't actually know why he succeeded. Well, why he succeeded? It was timing, luck, team, and funding in those order, in that proportion. It's almost all timing, which is kind of crazy, which it's the least, what you have the least control of over is timing. And timing, I really mean seeing the future, what's going to happen in 6, 9, 12, 24 months. Luck is not what you think. It's the word we use, but we're using it in a slightly different meaning here. So luck is something good came along that you saw and could grab. So luck is, hey, this big customer wants the product. Well, you can't have that luck if you hadn't launched the product yet. You can't get that luck while you're doing market research. You can't get that luck while you're an entrepreneur and you still have your daytime job. You're still working over at Microsoft. You're dreaming of being a startup. You're never going to get that luck. It's not there until you're in the market. Luck can come as bad too, but we're not talking about this on this list. It's opportunities that you're able to seize. Third is team. You got to have the right team because they have to be able to tell the future and see the luck when it happens. And the last one's funding. The last one is I got enough money from investors as an entrepreneur to keep the lights on so that when the luck came along, I could grab it. And luck could be, I really listened to customers really well, and I really did pick out what was going to happen in the future. And all that just turned out correct. And I had enough funding to go and grab that opportunity and boom, and build a team and so forth.